Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is not someone who will go far in his career, and he isn't likely to talk big about it either. His approach is quiet and cautious, and he isn't driven to push himself or take on tough challenges at work. If you want a partner who is always moving forward in his job, he probably won't fit the bill.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he tends to retreat quietly instead of bouncing back or fighting through the problem. He's not the type to argue, stand up for himself, or seek help. Instead, he might just keep his feelings to himself and withdraw from the situation. If you want a partner who faces setbacks with determination, this may not be his strength.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He is not the type to get into fights at work or make a loud scene. In fact, he tends to keep to himself and avoids conflicts altogether. Most people might find him quiet or reserved rather than friendly or warm.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he probably won't show much pride or excitement, and he is unlikely to feel seriously insecure either. Instead, he may react in a quiet, distant way, keeping his feelings inside rather than expressing them openly. At the same time, he won't get jealous or try to put you down.
What if you start earning more than him?
He isn't the kind to get openly upset or start arguments if you earn more than him. Deep down, he may feel a little uncomfortable or pull away, but he won't make a big fuss or try to bring you down. You might notice that he becomes even more reserved, but he won't create drama around your success.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He is quite careful with money and likes to keep things organized. You won't find him making random purchases or spending on impulse. If you want a partner who remembers every little expense and keeps track without fuss, he fits that bill well.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives a life he can afford and doesn't pretend to be richer than he is. He likes things to be neat and under control. So he's careful not to stretch himself or spend money just to impress others. He avoids risks and doesn't chase after expensive trends.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's quite tight with both money and his mindset. He prefers to hold on to what he has and doesn't easily share, whether it's money or feelings. If you are looking for someone generous with his heart and wallet, this may not be the man for you.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is likely to be clear about money matters, but not in a warm or open hearted way. You won't find him hiding purchases or being sneaky, but he might come across as stiff or set in his ways about how money should be handled. He's not controlling in an aggressive way, just firm on his habits and decisions.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe housework should follow set routines, but might quietly expect you to handle most of it. He won't argue or insist loudly, but his actions will probably show he thinks it's your job more than his. You may notice him doing little tasks if asked, but rarely stepping in on his own.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is more likely to stand on the sidelines and supervise rather than really get involved with chores and diapers. He prefers when everything is neat and orderly, but doesn't jump in to do the hard or messy work himself. If you ask, he might do small, simple tasks, but don't expect him to take charge with energy or care.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He isn't the type to argue just to prove his point, but he also doesn't make much effort to truly understand your side. Most of the time, he will become quiet and listen, but he may not say much or ask questions to learn how you feel. He tends to keep his own thoughts and emotions inside rather than starting fights or trying to win arguments.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he stays quiet and keeps his distance rather than saying hurtful things or acting aggressive. He doesn't lash out or raise his voice, and you won't have to worry about rude words or harsh actions. Instead, he's more likely to withdraw, go into his own shell, or avoid the situation completely.
Does he have a bad temper?
He's not the kind of man who gets angry quickly. Most of the time, he keeps his feelings inside and prefers to quietly walk away rather than explode or start a fight. It's not danger, but it can feel cold and distant at times.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it hard to say sorry or openly take responsibility when something goes wrong. Most likely, he will become very quiet, avoid talking about the issue, or act as if nothing happened. You might end up feeling like things are just being ignored or swept under the rug.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
Yes, he is likely to respect your boundaries, especially because he is cautious and dislikes conflict. If you say no, he won't push or argue. He may even step back more than you expect, choosing to give you extra space rather than test your limits. Your safety and comfort matter to him, even if he shows it in a quiet, sometimes distant manner.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He is not likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of getting upset or making you feel guilty, he will probably accept your answer quietly and give you space. You won't have to worry about being pressured, but you might notice him going quiet instead of talking about how he feels.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He's not the type to use personal things against you or embarrass you later on. If you value safety and privacy in the relationship, this is a strong point for him.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is likely to be faithful and not easily distracted by other women. He's not very enthusiastic or outgoing, so he doesn't seek attention or new excitement outside the relationship. If you want loyalty and someone who isn't interested in flirting or wandering, he matches well.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he is not over possessive and doesn't act jealous, controlling, or always suspicious. He tends to be quiet and keep to himself, not the type to ask too many questions about where you are or who you're with. He'd rather avoid conflict and lets you have your own space.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature does not come from a controlling personality. He's not the type to tell you what to do, where to go, or who to meet under the name of caring for you. His style is giving space, not putting up rules or limits.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is likely to expect you to do most of the parenting work rather than seeing it as a true team effort. He follows routines and likes things to be in order, but doesn't usually take the lead or show much initiative with kids unless told. If equal partnership as parents is important to you, be prepared to communicate your needs clearly.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He doesn't shout or react harshly even when things go wrong. He avoids drama and loud emotions, so the kids won't have to worry about scary outbursts.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will not stand in your way as you try to balance being a mother and your own person, but he may not give you much active support or encouragement either. He is unlikely to criticize your choices or restrict your freedom and generally prefers to let you handle things in your own way. While you'll have freedom, you may sometimes wish for more emotional backing from him.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he's not the type to make you feel supported in your career now and then suddenly ask you to quit when you have a child. He doesn't actively push his opinions about your choices and prefers to let you do things your own way. You won't face pressure or guilt trips from him about work or staying home. He is not forceful or demanding.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to just act polite on the surface with your parents rather than showing real warmth or forming a deep bond. He keeps things formal and prefers to stick to routines. So don't expect him to be chatty, affectionate, or go out of his way to please them. If your family hopes for open hearted connection, they might find him hard to read. He is more likely to stick to his own habits rather than actively adjusting to your family's ways.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly and avoid making things worse. He isn't one to argue, shout, or stir up drama. Instead, he quietly steps back from the situation. He'll keep things cool, but you'll need to take the lead if you want real solutions or support.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He is not the type to act modern with you in private and then suddenly expect you to become a traditional, supportive wife in front of his relatives. He prefers routines and avoids drama, so he won't put on a show or ask you to behave very differently depending on who's around. You'll have space to be yourself, but will need to handle any family expectations on your own.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it rather than support you openly or take their side. He dislikes conflict and avoids getting involved. So he won't argue with his family to stand up for you, but he also won't speak against you. His way is to keep quiet and step back, hoping the problem will settle down on its own.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He is not strongly a mummy's boy, but he also isn't someone who will easily take your side in a conflict with his mother. Most likely, he will avoid choosing sides altogether. He doesn't like confrontations and won't fight for either side, which can leave you feeling unsupported.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not the type to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He keeps things to himself and doesn't like discussing personal matters with others, even family. This habit protects your privacy, but it also means he isn't likely to seek advice or support during tough times.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out feels calm, predictable, and steady, but can also feel quiet and a bit lonely. He is reliable with routines and careful with money and home life, but won't bring much laughter, surprise, or open affection.